Welcome to CBR. It has been 5 years since Iron Man's last breath in Avengers Endgame. Yet, Tony Stark remains a fan-favorite character. His legacy in the MCU is unmatched. Since Marvel lore includes the resuscitation of characters, fans wonder, how could Tony Stark come back to life at this point? Before getting into the theories on his return, it's important to note that bringing Tony back to life in the MCU would have to carry a huge meaning or lesson. To have him back without minimizing his sacrifice in Avengers Endgame would require some creative solutions. There are a few different ways in which this could be done logically in the MCU. Today, let's explore 6 narrative devices that could bring Tony Stark back to life. Variant. Considering the MCU will soon reach the end of the multiverse saga, a way to have Tony back would be to make him a variant of Earth 616's Tony coming from a different universe. This Tony wouldn't be the one who died in Endgame, but he could have a similar personality and even the same character arc, except for the final sacrifice. A new variant Tony Stark could bring new dimensions to the old character while still preserving the original story of the one from Earth 616. Time travel. Another narrative device that could be used to bring Tony back is a simple time travel. This could be a temporary team-up or just a brief cameo in an Avengers movie in which they must travel to a time before Tony died. Without bringing past Tony to the present timeline, this device would not change his arc but still give fans a taste of his resurrection. Artificial intelligence. An AI version of Tony is also possible. Tony Stark has died and uploaded his consciousness to artificial intelligence before in Marvel Comics. The AI Tony appeared in series like Infamous Iron Man, where he begs Dr. Doom not to steal the Iron Man suit, and Invincible Iron Man, Volume 4, where Riri Williams receives a device containing the AI Tony to serve as her mentor as she becomes Ironheart. With so much discussion right now surrounding AI and all the benefits and disadvantages it brings, it could be an interesting way of bringing a late character back. The story would have to reveal that Tony Stark developed this AI model to contain his essence before the events of Avengers Endgame. Predicting people would need to talk to him about certain matters after his death. If an AI version of Tony was introduced to the MCU, he could serve as a mentor to Riri Williams like in the comics or impact the Armor Wars event in some way. This plot device could give Tony one last chance to make history or be used again and again, whenever the input of AI Tony is necessary. Resurrection. Of course, the 3 different narrative devices mentioned so far would bring Tony back to the MCU, but not exactly back to his own life. This could be a simple resurrection. For example, powerful cosmic entities like Celestials could decide Tony Stark is needed for any reason, and he'll be back just like that. If the Celestials were to specifically resurrect him, it would need to be part of a storyline where Stark's unique abilities, intellect, or past actions play a critical role. For example, if Stark technology were to cause a cosmic-level imbalance in the universe, this could catch the attention of Celestials. They would bring him back to fix or prevent a catastrophe only he can solve. Reality warping. Tony Stark could also be resurrected as a result of reality being rewritten. Characters like the Scarlet Witch, for example, have reality warping abilities that could lead to any character coming back to life in theory. In Marvel Comics, Wanda Maximoff has been successful at attempts to resurrect others and herself. Even though she's also dead in the MCU now, she could also come back. But even without her, this is still possible. Her son Wiccan, who has been recently revealed to be the teen in Agatha All Along, can also warp reality. With the Fantastic Four reboot coming soon, it's also easy to see how introducing Franklin Richards, Reed and Sue's son, a powerful reality warper, Franklin seemingly won't be a part of the Fantastic Four. With his multiversal reality warping powers, he would be able to bring Tony Stark back to life in a moment when the Fantastic Four and the world needs him. Soul World. The Soul World is a pocket dimension within the Soul Stone where souls are trapped, seen when Gamora made her own sacrifice in Infinity War. She went to the Soul World, where she became a child again. When Thanos destroys the Infinity Gauntlet, it's implied that the Soul World is gone with Gamora's soul. However, the Avengers traveled back in time to get the Infinity Stones and reverted the snap. It would make sense for their souls to be trapped within the Infinity Stones, like what had happened to Gamora in Infinity War. In fact, there was a deleted scene in Avengers Endgame that showed Tony Stark in the Soul World, which inspired this theory. After the Avengers defeated Thanos, Steve Rogers traveled in time again to return the stones in their timelines. In the same way, time traveling could be used to bring the stone containing Tony's soul back into the MCU. Potential future Tony Stark plots. Regardless of how the character is brought back, Tony Stark would have to be given a new purpose if this ever happens. It shouldn't just be a nostalgic nod to his legacy, but offer meaningful development both for him and the other characters in the MCU. If he returns, Tony could continue his mentorship of Peter Parker and set Riri Williams up for success as Ironheart. He could help future heroes avoid the mistakes he made, offering his support from the sidelines. But what fans would love to see most is the old Tony back as a protagonist, even if temporarily. A compelling arc for Tony's return could involve him facing the unintended consequences of his past actions. Stark Industries technology, or remnants of his experiments such as Ultron or the Arc Reactor, could spiral into galactic-scale issues. Tony's resurrection might come with a mission to correct his past mistakes, essentially serving as a second chance to prevent further disasters from occurring. Ultimately, any resurrection of Tony Stark in the MCU needs to carry a profound purpose and move the overall narrative forward. His return should add new layers to his character while respecting the emotional impact of his death in Endgame. Bringing him back shouldn't be about undoing the past, but about shaping the future of the MCU. While comic books allow protagonists to die and come back to life, with Tony Stark himself resurrected in Marvel Comics before, the MCU is its own world. This moment would need to make sense within the MCU, even if it's part of an accurate adaptation of a comic storyline. Considering that Robert Downey Jr. is cast as Victor Von Doom, the MCU would need to address resurrecting Tony while the same actor plays Doctor Doom. This is why, if it happens, Tony's comeback should be directly linked to Doom. It could be connected to Doom stealing Stark technology or even the entire Iron Man identity after Secret Wars, similarly to the infamous Iron Man series. Would you like to see Tony Stark coming back to life? How do you think Marvel should do it? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching CBR.